Hi everybody. Hello. Welcome.
Hello everyone.
My name is Matt. Welcome to tonight's live stream, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. Tonight is extra special. Special. We do have Adam Matthews joining us. He's the lead designer at Chaos Theory Games, everybody. So big thank you to Adam for being with us.
Hello. Hey everybody. Nice to be here.
Thank you so much for being on, Adam. Our pleasure. So tonight we are in for a special treat. Chaos Theory Games. People, if you don't know, it is in Sydney in Game Plus, and Adam is their lead game designer over there. He's been working for them for about 6 months, and today is a bit of a special day. They just had a soft release of one of their serious games. I believe it was yesterday. Is that correct, Adam?
On Friday.
On Friday.
So it probably went through over the weekend. sort of nature of the soft launch is. We just kind of like sneak it out there, test it out in the wild for a little bit. But yeah, it's very exciting.
Yes.
Yeah, we add a bit more to it over time.
Yeah. Awesome. I can't wait to hear a bit more about it. Throughout tonight's stream, everybody, please do feel free to pop your questions in chat. We will do our best to get them answered, Adam included. So with that said, Selena, I think I'll pass it over to you, but thank you everyone for joining.
Thank you, Matt. Let's get started. I'm sure all the budding game designers in the chat are super excited because I think it's our first time having a senior games developer specializing in design with us on our stream. So Adam, why don't you quickly introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about what you're currently doing with Chaos Theory?
Yeah, sure. So I'm Adam Matthews. I've been in games for near on 6 or 7 years now. And I just recently got hired at Chaos Theory as a sort of a games generalist, so getting to bring like sort of my design knowledge, as well as a lot of my programming experience and my like sort of rapid prototyping and iteration experience to the team for their current title, which is like sort of a games for hire, games as a service, games for change initiative. So really exciting.
Yeah, Chaos Theory has definitely been coming out with a lot of those serious games that really, cares about making a serious difference in the world. Like Bleached As, I believe, won an award just a few months back as well. So you're a proud alumni, along with quite a few of our fellow friends in Chaos Theory. And when did you graduate from AIE, and which course did you do?
Actually, I graduated twice. So way back in 2009. I studied an advanced diploma of professional games development art down in Canberra, and that allowed me to sort of go into uni and study film at like sort of an accelerated pace. And after that, I really enjoyed sort of my experience with games. So I went back, studied design in 2015. And graduated there. Actually, like got hired out of the first year that I was doing that course. So, like,
that's super exciting.
Yeah, it was. It was especially like out of first year design, going into a game development role or even a game designer role was fantastic. And working on like a major Warhammer title was like it was a dream. Yeah, it was fantastic.
Yeah, your portfolio definitely includes the Warhammer title, which is like a AAA game as well. What are some of the other projects or places you've worked at since you graduated for the second time as well?
So after Hammerfall Publishing, the team that I worked with, we founded, I would say like a sister studio to work on more like self-owned titles, like cute little games, stuff with like a different kind of identity. Our first game was Hula Bear, which was a rapidly prototyped and developed game about a middle-aged bear hula hooping in an enchanted forest, as you do. And after that, we worked on our major title, which was Rumu, for about a year. That was a point-and-click adventure game, like story-based, about a robot vacuum cleaner that can only feel love. And after that, I started working in the games as a service, games for hire industry as sort of a Unity generalist, someone who could do basically most of the professional disciplines to some capacity and sort of like help the team out with like various projects that they were working on. So there I worked on titles such as South Africa Think Again, Treasure Map. That was at a company called Third Sense. I was there for about 2 years. After that, I started working at Virtual Immersive on installations, which was a really exciting field, working in AR, VR, with sort of bleeding edge tech. It was very exciting, got to play with a lot of extremely expensive toys, which was a new experience for me, very intimidating, really. After that, well, very recently, actually, in the last 6 months, I was picked up by Chaos Theory, and I've been really enjoying my time here. They're a great bunch, and they're working on some incredible games, and with like a major focus on games for change. So really trying to like create a product that has a really positive outcome, like some great learning outcomes. And it's been exciting to really like explore that realm a lot. So, and
Yeah, definitely.
where we are now.
Yeah, like you've had such a like long experience in the games industry and some emerging industries as well, with your work in virtual immersive. So you mentioned you mainly were a designer, so you took on a more of a design focused role. So what does the role actually involve? You mentioned prototyping as one. Like, do you have to do a lot of coding as well?
I did. It's not necessarily always the same, but I've typically worked with like smaller teams that requires everyone to sort of like share roles, and for even designers to be quite aware of the team's capacity or like the skill level as well. So some degree of coding knowledge was like really beneficial, really helped me sort of like plan out what designs we were going to be able to achieve in the timeframes that were set like by the client or by us when it came to Rumu. We had a soft deadline of about a year to develop that game, and it was incredible. Like we were able to deliver on that because just everyone was able to pool knowledge, share knowledge, and really work on like what we wanted to create. So
And
yeah, go on.
Oh, no, go on. I was just going to say, and so do you think it's like really important to know how to code, or do you think it's more of like an added bonus for when you're looking for jobs as a designer?
It's definitely an added bonus. I would say, like when I first started coding, I was using a visual scripting language in Unity Playmaker. It's quite similar to blueprints in Unreal. That allowed me to sort of understand the limitations of code and what it could do or what it can't do in certain timeframes. And I think that made me a much more appealing hire, especially for smaller teams, where I could be the only developer actually on a project that might last only a few weeks. It allowed me to rapidly prototype a product, show a client, and get like approval to continue that.
So, out of all these awesome projects and places you've worked at as well, what would you say was your favorite project? Like the project you think you had the best experience, maybe learned the most, and we want to know why as well.
Definitely Rumi. As far as like learning outcomes are concerned, like it was the first major title that the team was wholly owned and produced, and we all had involvement in absolutely everything that went into it, from like even small things such as like marketing or that's not a small thing, sorry, but like just things that a designer won't necessarily be able to do. Their focus usually is on the player experience exclusively or something like that. But I was able to really expand my coding knowledge and sort of those, and my lead skills as well. I was able to like better plan my like tickets for teams and stuff like that. It was definitely the best project.
You said that was the first project that you guys got to wholly own. But as a designer, how much creative freedom do you generally get in projects?
That is an interesting question. I wouldn't say like designers get like a lot. I don't feel like we get a lot of creative freedom. I don't think we need a lot of creative freedom. I think like everyone's supposed to be working as a team, so the designers shouldn't be telling everyone else what the game's going to be and like how it should be and how even their primary concern, which would be like the player's experience, like what that's going to be like. I think like everyone has to like be able to have some sort of buy-in into the project, and I think like the job of a designer is more like facilitating that. So knowing what like the skills that are needed or what the player's experience is, what they want, but also being able to lean on the rest of the team and know what they want out of the project.
So I do apologise, sorry for my phone ringing there, but I do have a question. I've got a viewer question and I've also got a personal question. I'll do the viewer question first, so I'll pop that one up on screen for everybody. When blocking out the core mechanics of your games, what were the most interesting outcomes that you found when finalising them in both coding and visualising them?
I think like for me, some of the more interesting ones were finding out that like what we thought players would focus on as a core mechanic wasn't actually necessarily a core mechanic. Like sometimes we would invest heavily in one area of the game, one mechanic or one experience. Yeah. But when I guess like when it came to play testing, when we actually started to see it out in the wild, players would engage with things that we never necessarily expected to be a focus or a highlight, something that like everyone fell in love with. And that was always a surprise. Like you never expect it. You're never ever going to expect it. Like it's just something you can just like foresee.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Awesome. Thank you for the question. I'll just quickly wipe that one off screen. And then I had a bit of a personal question. You two were just discussing how, I guess they'll ask, like, how much creativity do you get? And then you said, oh, well, you work in a team. And I guess over the last 4 or 5 months here at AIE, I've noticed that there's a big emphasis on teamwork and like communication. You got your minor and major production. I wanted to, because now I've seen the student side of it, I wanted a person who's lived it and experienced it themselves. How much does the team play aspect of AIE help in transition to going into the workforce? Like, and be completely honest with it. If you think that in AIE and during your student life you're learning the skills and you're like, okay, all right, well when I get into the workforce I might not have to bully my idea onto everyone else, or if I'm having an idea, all of those sorts of, I guess, ideas, how do they play out in reality, and how did AIE's team focus help?
Oh, it helped immensely. Yeah, especially like with those major projects. Once you actually start working with a team and you start to learn about sort of like the archetype sort of personalities that you get in the team and how to navigate that. Like it definitely gives you like the tools to work in a team and like to build your emotional intelligence and be able to like get a product over the line.
Yeah. And do you see people sometimes struggle with that within the workforce? Struggle to give up an idea, or struggle to maybe latch on to someone else's idea and grow that idea? Do you see that at all in the
always.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm guilty of it too. I think everyone is. Everyone has their sort of like the term like "kill your darlings" comes to mind, I guess. So like when we initially started developing Rumu, it was a vastly different game. It had completely different mechanics in it, stealth mechanics, for instance, and like the team worked hard on a lot of those ideas, and it was difficult to let go of them. But the product overall like benefited from like everyone being able to come together and say like, look, this isn't working. Like, let's pivot. Let's look in a different direction. Cool.
And before I do jump off, sorry, Sal, we've had another question of your question.
Oh, wow.
So
Immensely popular.
all the questions coming through. So Ali asks, question, what kind of design thinking shift was needed when you moved into AR XR from more traditional games? Good question. I like that.
Yeah, I think especially from like Ali McLean. She worked on my on Rumo as well, so like, especially for me, like my experience with AR and XR was client focused. So we had to build off the client's goals, like using that as a scaffold.
Yeah.
Which actually was like, it was fantastic. It was almost like liberating in a way. You would think like having a client who needs like a particular outcome would be a limitation, but it really gives you like the bedrock to build all of your core pillars off. Like, you know that these are the things you need in a game, like whatever their goals, their measurable outcomes are. And we were able to then like build our design around that, and it was freeing.
Cool, awesome. Thanks, Ali, and thanks, Adam. I'll throw it back to you now, Sel. Sorry for the intermission.
No worries. I can see there's a lot of, everyone's super curious and wants to ask a lot of questions, but keep the questions coming. I'm sure Adam loves answering everyone's questions as well. So yeah, let's bring it back to a bit. So for you personally, what actually got you into game design? You did say you did a film course. In the middle of there somewhere? Was it like a sudden career change? Was this something that you always wanted to do, or you kind of just tried everything and then realized that this is the career for you?
So while I was studying art, I really gravitated towards level design. I thought it was fantastic being able to sort of like interact with the player on like sort of a very fundamental level, like see them enjoying like what you've created. Like it was very real and tangible, but I didn't know that design was an actual like discipline at all. And then so after art, I sort of pivoted into film, and I realized that sort of wasn't the world for me, the profession for me, and I started gravitating back to this idea of like the player's experience when I was creating these levels and how much enjoyment they were getting out of it. And I started to investigate like roles where I could do that in a professional capacity. And that's when I sort of stumbled onto this discipline of design, which was exclusively focused on the player's experience. And then I dropped everything. I saw AIE had a course for design. I knew what AIE offered, so I ran back there and was like, hello.
I'm back to do another course.
Yeah.
And what do you think, since you had all this experience applying for different studios and both, during when you first graduated and when you second graduated as well. So as a designer, what do you think studios actually look for? If you're a senior, I assume you probably would have trained up like juniors as well. What do you think people are looking for when it comes to hiring designers?
In my experience, it's mostly good fits for the team. So it's people that that have like high emotional intelligence, that are going to not dominate a design or like conversation or any kind of like sort of exercises that you might be doing. It's what else? No, I think that's my primary concern usually is just like someone I know who's gonna work well. Obviously, like a good portfolio, like some paper prototypes or demos is going to be a good. It's going to like highlight a candidate, but once it comes down to the interview process, it's mostly more like if they're going to work well with everyone and everyone's going to get along.
So would you say that someone who don't on a people's person wouldn't really make a great designer?
Well, I think like a designer has to be like focused on like the core outcomes of the game. So a lot about like the player. It's going to be primarily concerned about like that. So I don't know if like someone who is like a dominating personality can really like empathize with the player on like that fundamental level. So I'd prefer like if it came down to someone who had on paper all the skills necessary to be a fantastic designer, or like a junior level as far as like skills are concerned, but during the interview process worked really well with everyone, was getting along really well, I'd definitely go with them.
So yeah, I can see you definitely need a lot of teamwork experience to really ace those interviews and work really well in a team. I feel like I definitely learned something new today, because I always thought if you're just someone with like really good ideas, you'll probably make a good designer, but it's really all about the people at the end of the day, both like the players and your teammates as well. Okay, and since I think Matt answered a little bit, asked you a little bit earlier about the teamwork you did at AIE, but what was like, do you remember anything about your experience at AIE in terms of like your teachers, your subjects, classmates? What was that experience like for you in general?
It was fantastic. I really liked it. One of my best friends is my teacher from art, actually. And yeah, I made like a lot of like good lifelong friends there, and had like a lot of great experiences. I think the first time around during art, I definitely was living the sort of student lifestyle, not just like the mee goreng and cans of Coke, but I was definitely playing a lot more games and not really focused on like the study of like game development. The second time around, I had that like prior knowledge of what AIE could provide. Like I saw a lot of people get hired out of my class in art, like to go work at 2K. And that was kind of a wake-up call. So the second time around, I just applied myself, and the teachers took notice and got me an interview at Hammerfall Publishing for an internship role. And that just cascaded into my career in games.
Wow, we're super happy for you, because now you've come all this way, you've got all that industry experience. How would you say AIE helped you, besides providing obviously the environment where you get to work in teams? How do you feel like AIE has helped you when it comes to where you are now?
It also gave me like, it gave me contacts in the industry, I guess, as far as it let me know when Beer of Pixels was on, or other events where like students could socialize with professionals, and that let me understand sort of how the professional industry operates, and that, you know, not everyone's in like business shirts and stuff like that. They can like let their hair down and have some fun, but every now and again they'll start talking shop, and you can talk shop with them. And that was like a really rewarding experience. It sort of makes you feel like part of the community. And that's when you sort of like build up your portfolio of contacts. Like at Chaos Theory, I have known all of them for years. And I just let them know that I was looking for work, and they immediately called me in to have an interview, because they've seen me around. They know like I'm a good person, well, I'm a person they can talk to. And yeah, that sort of led to like where I am now.
Did you have a question there, Matt?
We do. We have another viewer question that
Wow.
has come through from Alfiro again, so I'll pop it up on screen. So speaking of entering the workforce, do you have any advice for working on games and animation as a secondary job in freelancing?
Yeah, I'd say like as far as trying to find a job, it's like apply for everything. Like even if you don't think you're going to be able to get the job, that experience, and like especially if you get into the interview stage, like just knowing what kind of questions are going to be thrown at you is hands down the most beneficial thing you'll get. And like at the end of the day, even if you don't want the job, you can always turn it down. But like, it's just great to sort of like start to build up that knowledge of like how to work in, or how an interview process is going to work.
Yeah.
So just start immediately. Don't just go for the dream job.
Yeah.
Go for like every job. It's not going to hurt you.
Yeah. Yeah. Awesome question. And I do
as far
have...
as sorry.
No, you go.
I was going to say, the second part of that question, as like a sort of secondary job, I think it's up to like managing your time effectively. Like that'd be very tough. Like it was tough in my second year of design because I was hired as a designer in the industry while also managing my like AIE workload at the same time.
Yeah.
And it's just like you've got to sort of balance that and not like burn out. Like it's very hard to do, especially when you're in the like crunch. But just being like very self-aware of like your mental health is like critical when you're in that position. So yeah, take breaks as well. Like yeah, hopefully that answers it.
Yep. I think so. That was a good job and a good question. Cool. Thanks, Adam. Back to you, Sal.
Okay. All right. I think we're almost at the end of our live stream here, almost running out of time. You've given so much really awesome advice for all of our viewers, especially those who actually want the job in the industry in design. Do you have any key pieces of advice for these people, especially our current students?
Yeah, big time. I know it is like tough right now with sort of like the current like COVID climate, but try to be a part of the industry. Like engage with like professionals in a professional manner as well. So contact them over Twitter. Find like game events in your local area as well. Like Sydney has multitudes. And some of them are being hosted online now. So everyone's trying to still keep up the social element of the sort of like games industry in Sydney or anywhere really. And it's just about like being a part of that, like and being like I guess being a human as well, which sounds kind of weird, but just, being a friend, being friendly. Like we're all like just sort of like there to have fun anyway. Like professionals don't bite, so come up, say hi, introduce yourself. Like it's really good to meet like students who are really keen and really passionate about the industry. It's like they're the ones that are going to go really far. So I'd say if you really want to be a part of the industry, it's just be a part of it. Just start.
Don't be shy.
Yeah. Oh, you can be shy. Like you can pull someone away and have a chat on the side as well. Like most developers would probably have like a Twitter profile with their contacts open, so you can just message them privately if you want to ask a few questions about how people got into the industry. We're all like pretty happy to talk about it. Like it doesn't take a lot of time to help out someone. So like if you're nervous, just privately grab someone over Messenger or something like that. But yeah, that would be my biggest advice is, just get involved. Like actually like start being a part of like the industry you want to be a part of.
Yeah, that's super helpful and very practical, especially now everyone's at home as well. So don't be afraid to message your favorite developers on Twitter and ask all those questions that you have. Oh, yeah, like what Lee said, games are about fun. It's important to remain human. It's a very good statement to sum up Adam's advice there. Okay, and finally, what's ahead for you personally? Do you have any future career goals or your any future plans with Chaos Theory as well that you can share with us?
Yeah, so we've actually just been nominated for NAGDA for the current game that we are working on. So hopefully we take that away. That would be an awesome career goal, like picking up my second NAGDA. More long term than that, I want to start working in sort of a mentorship role, trying to help out like entry level, like people in entry level positions move up, and like that's something I want to be a lot more active in, which I haven't quite sort of like stepped into that position yet. But I think I'm there. I think I'm ready to sort of like do that. I am what's called a veteran now, I guess. So I guess like I have to start acting like that as well, and sort of be an industry leader. So yeah, that would be my big goal.
Well, we think you'd be really good at it, just judging from the advice you've given everyone watching this live stream in the past 30 minutes. But yeah, thank you once again so much for coming onto this live stream. It's a school holidays as well, and I'm sure you guys, you just finished a big project. So thank you so much for taking your time out of a busy schedule just to come and have a chat with us.
Oh, no worries. Yeah, it's very enjoyable. I really like what you're doing here. This is awesome.
Awesome. Hopefully we'll see you at a future open day in person when the restrictions lift as well.
Yeah, happy to, definitely.
Awesome. I'm just going to get Matt to come back. So everyone watching, we're just going to get Matt to tell you guys a little bit about some of our exciting events coming up.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Sel, and thank you so much, Adam, for your information tonight and your journey. I loved that bear game. I really actually kind of want to go play with it. It looked so good. But before I do that, I will chuck this screen up on here for everyone to see. So coming up, guys, we do have a lot of fun events and a lot of really cool workshops. Tomorrow is our industry experience day for the campuses doing it in person. If you haven't, you can still register. There is still time, so head to our website and events here. Just go to Industry Experience Day there. So we'll run through an hour workshop of each of the streams for Year 12 aimed students, but also Year 11s, 10s and below if be. And then we've also got the Open Day coming up on the 21st of November. So for those who are a bit late to miss Industry Experience Day or it didn't line up well with their schedule, please do come to an Open Day. Open Days are fantastic as well. I believe the Industry Experience Day is online for Melbourne and for our online campus, bit obviously there, but that is coming up. Sel, correct me if I'm wrong, on the 9th, was it?
The Open Day for the online campus?
No, sorry, the Industry Experience Day.
Oh, it's on the same date as the on-campus Industry Experience Days.
Yeah. So do head. Actually, it would be on the website here as well. So if anyone is living rurally or in Melbourne, please do jump on as well and register for the online Industry Experience Day. And coming up as well, we will have some more lovely live streams for everyone to watch. So at this stage, December, we've got Jacob King. However, we'll have a few more coming up before then. So shout out to Jess, watch this space. We'll definitely have a few more live streams before then as well. So yeah, head to the website, heaps of information there, guys. Lots of cool events, lots of free workshops. Please do jump on. But for us at AIE, thank you so much for being with us. Sel, do you have any last, or Adam, do you have any last bits of information for anyone?
If anyone has any other questions, hopefully my contact details are on the page, like the header page as well. But you can catch me on Twitter at thisis.adam. That's at DISISDA80AM. And I'll be happy to answer any questions that anyone has.
Yeah,
Awesome.
thank you so much. So those in the audience, you heard Adam. It's This Is Adam. Separated by dots on Twitter, and I'm sure he's happy to answer all of your questions if you have any more if you're more curious about what he does. And also definitely support him and the team at Chaos Theory by downloading their latest titles, and Rumu is still available on Steam as well.
Yes.
Yep, yeah. As well as Regicide, and Hula Bear is on the App Store. So yeah.
Yeah, I think Matt's going to download it straight away.
Yeah, that's where I'm going in about 5 minutes. Awesome. All right. Well, thanks everybody for joining us tonight. I hope you have a really lovely night. We do have Lee asked to type it, please, as well. So I will pop that in chat before I turn the stream off. So yeah, I'll do that as well. But for everyone, thank you so much for joining us tonight. I hope you have a wonderful night and
enjoy the rest of the school holidays.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah.